It's right here. 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. And I have here Mrs. Jumoke Fashanu. I got that right? Yes, I did get that right. Mrs. Jumoke Fashanu is the MD of First
Home Mortgage Brokers Limited.
First Home Mortgage Brokers Limited. And we are here to discuss how both the poor and the middle class can have access to mortgages. So what I'll do is there'll be less talk and more, I'll give you more opportunity to ask questions. That's what we'll do. I'll soon take a commercial break. When we do, we'll get the session rolling, but I need to also make one or two comments that are very, very vital. So don't go anywhere, so you can listen to that. Stay tuned, and then we'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. Daily Digest returns in a moment.
My friend, when you dey watch ball, which one you be? You be that person where they analyze the match?
Na 4-3-3 formation give us winning here.
Now you dey hail them. Maybe you just like to celebrate. Abi you be all join.
Whether na football, comedy, Naija movies, cooking videos, learning or drama, videos bracket for you to watch back to back on YouTube. With the new video data bundle from MTN, enjoy yafu hours of video content. Just text YouTube to 131 now. With YouTube, now you go tire.
When it comes to watching your favorite Nollywood videos, are you emotional?
Oh,
A crier? An applauder? Yay! Or maybe you're all of the above.
whether it's Naija movies, comedy, learning, cooking videos, or drama, go from one video you love to another on YouTube. With the new video data bundle from MTN, enjoy even more affordable, longer hours of video content. Just text YouTube to 131 now. With YouTube, now you go tire.
My people, make una come see Yafu from MTN. If you buy MTN SIM today, come join the MTN Yafu package. Once you register and activate your SIM, MTN go serve you ogbonge wakis. For starter, MTN go give you free 500 naira airtime. One off will be bonus for 100 naira when you take buy SIM. After that, for the next 6 months, you go begin enjoy 700% awoof credit bonus anytime when you recharge with 100 naira and above. You come finish up. Now double you go get anytime when you buy data for 4 months. So Kia, go buy MTN SIM today. Register and activate them. Make yourself begin enjoy MTN Yafu Wakis. MTN, everywhere you go.
Home of entertaining conversations.
I personally think Liverpool of last season that lost the title were better. That's my personal opinion.
Somebody who has the virus refused to isolate. That's even attempted murder, in my opinion, because you know how dangerous this virus is and you refuse to do the right thing. It should be a crime.
99.3.
A young man like me, looking for what I'll fight myself. As police are collecting my money. What the letter will say, I'm not doing Yahoo. I have a luxury shop.
Your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is Daily Digest with Jimi Disu.
Yeah, you're welcome back to Daily Digest. I need to make a comment on something. Yesterday, my attention was called to a tweet by one gentleman called Francis, in which he said that yesterday's program at 7, I said that President Buhari should be forcefully removed. Of course, which I didn't say. I mean, nobody would have expected me to say that. But he called the attention of the NBC and called the attention of the DSS. And I consider that cyberbullying. That means he's trying to bully me and set me up. That's exactly what it is. And I'm going to take it up with the authorities. I'd like to, look, if you're a supporter of the president, I have no problem with that. And whatever views you espouse, I have no problems with that. But two things you need to remember is that, one, if you think you're covered because your principal is president today, he might not be president tomorrow, and you can be called at any time, to answer to these things. I'm going to plead with everybody, please, whatever you do, whatever opinion you want to give, it is wrong for you to, to cyberbully anybody based on that. That is what I would call a setup, because it's specifically called on the DSS and called on the NBC. I just laughed over it. But after laughing over it, my attention had been called to it, and I thought the first thing to do is to correct it, and the second thing to do would be to do the needful and get the necessary authorities to start work on something and put an end to this kind of thing. I want to plead one more time, when we do react in public and when we say we should be very careful and be ready to be held responsible for it. Okay, now to Mrs. Fashano. How are you, ma'am?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, we don't have much time because I'd like to give time for a lot of questions to be, asked. And essentially, this is what it is. Generally, we do not have a well-appraised mortgage system in the country. Maybe one day we'll get there, but we haven't gotten anywhere near it now. But within what is available, how can an average Nigerian, on the least salary that you will tell me, have the hope to ever own a house through mortgage? Of course, there are other means by which people have houses: stealing money, chopping money, putting hands in the cookie jar. But how can a legitimately access any form of mortgage that we have, to build a house? And sorry, what's the least value of house that you can, take a mortgage on?
Okay. I'll start with this last question.
Mm-hmm.
The least value of property is somewhere in the axis of Abuja. There are 3.5 million naira houses.
Really?
Yes.
How much is the land?
Now, there's, it's about 35 minutes to the center of Abuja. Now, this is owned, the estate is owned by a private company. I don't want to mention their name because they're not paying. But I will answer the broader question. I am a testament to the fact that a Nigerian that is honest, without stealing, can own a property.
So this property is worth 3.5 million?
Yes.
What kind of structure is it?
The bungalow semi-detached. It is appropriate.
Really?
Yes. And within the Lagos axis, there are properties of 6 million, 5.5 million naira, 7 million. Now, what should an honest Nigerian do? Prepare your mind that without a plan, you will fail. What do you need to do? Talk to people with an open mind about what is available. It's easy to keep saying over and over again that the government is not doing anything. The government is doing a whole lot. The lower people, the low income and the middle income, what is their problem? They have a closed mind. They will keep saying it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie. And they are not aware of what is going on because people still take mortgages and they hide. I was on a radio program. I had a radio program for 1 year last year. And the people we had facilitated mortgages for, about 10 of them that agreed they were going to come to the studio to share their experiences. None came up.
Why?
One said his wife said a lot of people will start begging them for money. That what she told them was that they rented the place. One said people will be mocking her if they are wearing clothes now. They said, whereas you are living in a mortgage house and you are still eating chicken. One said because we also can do what we call national housing refund, meaning if you have been a contributor, when you retire, you can collect your money back from Federal Mortgage Bank. And one said the people will not know how much. So you go to radio and say you collected money, the queue. So, there's still a lot of... So because of that, Uncle Jimmy, there are people you could have attended their housewarming. You will never know that they took it on mortgage.
Yeah, but it's funny, this stigmatization thing and this big boy syndrome. There's nothing wrong in taking a mortgage.
That's what we're saying.
It's absolutely nothing wrong.
So how can you do it and succeed? One, you plan and you save. You open a mortgage account. There are several mortgage banks. Open a mortgage account. If you're a Nigerian register for the National Housing Fund. That is the most affordable form of mortgage.
Is it still, does it still run?
It's running.
Is it devoid? Look at the story you're hearing of pension funds. And one of the things that people are generally afraid of is any government institution, like Federal Mortgage Bank. I'm just saying, I'm not indicting them.
Yes.
But there's a general fear that the money could be whacked. Pension money is gone there. And now we hear the governors want to take $1 trillion from pension funds.
Uncle Jimmy,
So, yes.
I don't work for Federal Mortgage Bank.
Yes.
I don't work for government. If you're a Nigerian, you register and you start saving 2.5% of your basic. You don't have to be in a formal employment. You can be an artisan, you can be a trader, as long as you have something you're doing that gives you income on a monthly basis. Now, what do I know? There are people that have retired and we've been able to get them the refund. One thing is, if you were a contributor and you retire and you leave the money, they are not going to come knocking on your door that you come and collect your money. They are not going to do that. So, again, to own an affordable home, you have to make up your mind. What are the challenges I see for the low and the middle? They don't want where the affordability can afford them. The first stage we ascertain everybody's affordability. You take what we call a pre-qualification test, so we can know the value of mortgage you can take, and we can know the tenor. People whose affordability is 6 million naira would say they want to live within the Lekki axis. So
okay, let's do it in this sequential manner.
Okay.
One is, what is the minimum amount you can save every month to have an account with the mortgage company? Is there a minimum amount?
No, there is no minimum. Normal, averagely, with 20,000 naira, you can open a mortgage account.
And you can start saving
20,000 naira
monthly.
What you will be saving depends. After you've taken your pre-qualification test, that will show you where you are. It's more like a diagnostic test. So if your affordability says you can acquire a mortgage of 4 million naira, and you look at yourself and say, no, I want to do better, we'll be able to guide you and say, okay, that means this and this is what you need to save. So it depends on each person.
Okay.
But with as low as 20,000, you open a mortgage account.
Okay, now let's go straight. I want to buy a house for 4 million for argument purposes.
Okay.
What percentage do I need to put down?
Okay, 10%.
That's
400,000.
400,000.
Yes.
The balance will be paid over what period?
Take away
minimum.
Take away your age. If you are taking the National Housing Fund, take away your age from 60. So meaning a 30-year-old can pay back over 30 years.
Oh, so apparently, so if let's say you live in Lagos, but you want to buy a house in somewhere close to Ota or Ikorodu or whatever, and for argument purposes, the house is 4 million. After you put down 400,000, and you're a 30-year-old, you can pay the balance over 30 years.
Yes, actually,
That's wonderful.
We've proven that anybody that is paying rent can actually own a home.
Yes.
Yes, if you pay
easily.
Yes, usually the equity contribution is what's normally a challenge. That's number one. Number two, a lot of people would rather dream that one day they are going to own a fully detached duplex. Whereas, I was just gisting before the program started, there are countries, countries like Rwanda, what they do is incremental housing. So if you're a young person, a one room is okay. As you get married, you had another room. So also, even in Nigeria, ideally, any low income earner, any middle income earner should give themselves the timing. And nobody will want to buy a first car and the first place they go to is a Mercedes-Benz place. No.
Well, it depends.
Well, but a low income earner.
Mrs. Vashano, there are some low income earners that have access to high income.
Oh, true. But we are talking about those.
The honest ones.
The honest ones. So the same way that the honest one will make do with a third-hand, fourth-hand Nigerian used vehicle. So an honest person should be prepared to say, wherever my affordability lies, I want to collect the keys. There are stock of housing units within that affordability bracket.
Okay, now the number to call, yes, just one number, 0700-993-993-993. I guess that would work for if you do have questions to ask. And I think we have a question, we have a caller already. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Uncle Jay.
Morning, who's calling?
Good morning, sir. Okay, you're on to India. I'm calling from Satellite, sir.
Yes.
Okay, this one, sir. I've been contributing to the National Housing Fund.
Yes.
I work with a company, so it's compulsory for us to contribute. I've been contributing for over a year now.
Yes.
And I want to know, how do I even go about owning a house? Because I just took something from what you said now. Recently, in order to move closer to work, I paid over ₦1 million for 2 years rent for a place.
You see?
So if I can pay over ₦1 million for 2 years rent, I should be able to get something from mortgage. So it can simply that please tell us how I go about this national housing that I've been contributing to. And it's like I don't know where the money is going to, what it will be used for. If I was
Okay. All right, thank you. Now, please, when you do call in, try and call from a very quiet background so we don't have any interference. But he said that he's been contributing to the federal housing,
the National Housing Fund.
Housing Fund.
Yes, and he said it's compulsory. Actually, there's an act that makes it compulsory for every organization that you have 5 people working with you. You should register, and they should be contributors. The first thing he would do is to take a pre-qualification test. That will ascertain his affordability. When we send him the affordability result, is automated. He will get the result, and then he will see the list of properties that falls within his affordability.
Let's play a game here.
Okay.
This is a gentleman who says that in order to pay rent, he was able to cough out $1 million, which means that had he set his mind to it, he could have used that $1 million as a deposit for a house. So if you say it's 10%,
yes,
Abby?
Yes.
So if from the way he was speaking, it means that if he could put $1 million down, he could get a house for 10 million and pay the 9 million over minus 60.
Yeah, take away from 60.
That's beautiful.
No, let me even tell you, Uncle. There are even some product is rent to own, and there are properties in they call the estate Sedona Estate in Ikorodu. That is rent to own. So you're paying rent, but it's actually your property. So
how long do you pay the rent for?
Depending again, that is about 10-15 years for that. But once you are a contributor, you actually can take advantage of that. So is a good thing that he's listening on. It takes its pre-qualification test. And prior to now, there was no subsector like the mortgage brokerage subsector. But the subsector was created to enable the common man have access to somebody interpret the process. It looks all clumsy, it looks all complicated and difficult. But what we do is we work with these individuals and guide them through the process and give them advices about the choices they can make.
Part of what could be a challenge is some people will be wondering, where am I going to get the land? Would you give money for me to build? Or rather the mortgage is for those who are buying houses.
Okay. Uncle Jimmy, you know how to ask good questions that would dig. I've been thinking of how do I get to that point.
To that point.
Yes. A lot of Nigerians, you'll agree with me, they like cash. If you call a niece now, or a niece calls you, I'm stranded. If you say your driver is close by, she'll say, no, send me the money. So a lot of Nigerians will prefer cash disbursement. The route that I recommend is a route to pick built homes.
Yeah.
Yes. I keep talking about Federal Mortgage Bank. There are various other mortgage products. Now there are mortgage products that the interest rate is as low as 12% per annum. But the National Housing Fund is 6% per annum. A lot of Nigerians would prefer. So what they would like to hear is for me to say, we can facilitate you accessing physical cash so that if you can qualify for 10 million, you and your wife can squander 5 million, you can build a property for 5 million. But for mortgage, the quality of the house must remain standing. You know, it's long tenured. So
yes.
And exactly. So a lot of people, and there's so much more demand on the institution for people that want cash. I was telling you before the program started, when what you can afford is affordable housing, you can't have all the boxes ticked. You will pick, is it money to squander you want or a roof over your head?
So what he's saying is that this calls for discipline.
Yes.
It's better for you to go after a property that is being built.
Yes.
And there are loads of them now.
There are lots of them.
Loads of them
Yes.
now, yes.
And within your affordability.
Within affordability. Okay, we have to take a short break.
Okay.
And when we come back, I'll be taking more of your questions. Don't panic. I'm going to be doing this intervention maybe quarterly or something close to that, so that all of us can have access to owning houses, no matter how small. In Lagos, if you own a one-bedroom house, you're king. You know, that's the end of you and Baba landlord. So we'll be looking at that. I need to take a short break, and when I do come back, the questions, the number is still 0700-993-993-993. Okay, so we'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. Daily Digest returns in a moment.
Grab a chair and get comfortable. Why? Because you're about to witness musical history being made. It's the first edition of MTN Yellow Star. The auditions are over, and we have the final contestants ready to dish out the lyrical sauce you've been waiting for. Show starts on the 7th of November, and it promises to be one that will keep you glued to your screens. Come watch contestants battle it out for a chance to win 136 million naira in prizes. It's the making of a music legend. Turn up the music. Catch MTN Yellow Star on your favorite TV station on Saturdays and Sundays. Follow at MTN Yellow Star on social media for details.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
When it comes to watching your favorite Nollywood videos, are you emotional? Oh, a crier? An applauder? Yay! Or maybe you're all of the above.
Whether it's Naija movies, comedy, learning, cooking videos, or drama, go from one video you love to another on YouTube. With the new video data bundle from MTN, enjoy even more affordable, longer hours of video content. Just text YouTube to 131 now. With YouTube, now you go tired.
My name is Data Lover Joe Mabel. Any wolf I go know I'm well. MTN Pulse, don't come ring my bell. What's this I hear of data just for the night? You see, I'm a very, very big guy, but I don't joke with my giggy bites. So MTN get the free guy with this data plan for the midnight. 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. 2 gig, oh boy, I can live the life. IG, TikTok is ready to go, oh boy, I'm feeling fine. Because 11 to 6 in the morning, IG, TikTok morning.
MTN Pulse. Do you? Dial star 406 hash to join. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Welcome back. This is Daily Digest with Jimi Disu.
Yeah, you're welcome back to Daily Digest with Jimi Disu, brought to you by MTN. And I still have Mrs. Jumoke Fashanu. We're talking about mortgage for both the poor and middle class. Some of the questions that we found in the social media can easily be answered in the social media. Just Google these things, companies you can go to, and so on and so forth, and you'll get. So some of your questions that we see, a lot of them, Mrs. Fashion, a lot of them. So we don't just waste valuable time. And then there's no point being skeptical. I think Nigerians should learn to get up and go. And take risks. It's a risk of some sort, but get up and go. There are no guaranteed answers to any problem in life or any situation in life. You need to just get up and go and get it done and not sit down and make excuses. Okay? So, somebody asked there what we spoke about the minimum. What's the minimum?
The maximum for the National Housing Fund, the maximum is 15 million naira.
Oh, 15?
15 million, yes.
That's the maximum you can
get? The maximum, yes.
So, so essentially it's for the poor and middle class?
Exactly. For commercial mortgage,
yes,
you can get 50 million, 60 million.
What would a commercial mortgage be? Yeah,
the commercial mortgage, the pricing used to be, until a few days ago, the pricing used to be at 17%. But like I said, if people keep open mind and the mission or the commitment we have made is to keep looking for ways to ensure it can become more affordable for more people. So it's possible now for anybody that is desirous of owning a home to procure a mortgage that is priced at 12% per annum.
No, when I said commercial mortgage, I mean, does it have to be a commercial building?
No.
Okay, or it's built for rent?
No. For commercial, let me explain. What we mean by commercial mortgage means the mortgage product that individual mortgage banks will prefer to the customers. So it's the alternative. You either take a National Housing Fund mortgage or you take any other one. So what we call by commercial priced mortgage is any other one aside from the 6% per annum one.
Do we have banks getting involved directly with, some Jimi Disu and Sons is selling 50 houses in K2 or whatever it is, but it's tied to a mortgage. Do you have such
well,
I know we have a flurry of these houses now, in all honesty.
No, you see, there are a lot of developers that build homes, and they are responding to the market to say people may not be able to put down the bulk money. And so they allow people to pay on instrumental basis.
Oh, I see.
But their challenge had always been that when such people move in, then they see it as an opportunity. There's no structured mortgage. So even if a developer still has the intention, they prefer to work with us. So it's better to structure a formal thing that's more committed than you collecting the keys of the house and they keep knocking on your door. And you say we've not been paid.
But there's some complaint about built-up properties, developers' properties, and usually you'd have to spend something extra that they're usually substandard, railings, toilet bowls, things like that. And therefore, there's a lot of criticism out there. I don't know if you're aware.
That there's a difference between affordable housing. People whose affordability belongs to affordable housing. And the structure definitely will be solid. The structure, what people complain about is the aesthetics.
Yes.
That the tiles, the toilets,
there are even railings.
Really, there are developers now that the way they are also responding to the market, to the pulse of the market, is that they actually build houses and they tell you that they finish the structure, but you would do the finishing. It's
to your taste.
Yes, you will agree with me that Nigerians, our taste is just something else. I have seen people that remove bath and toilets from rented apartments. Yes, they don't like the bath, they don't like the toilet.
There was one that built a swimming pool. I remember way back, he wasn't Yahoo then. Yes. I think the guy was into drugs or something. Then he rented a place in VI.
Yes,
and put it in a swimming pool for the landlord.
Exactly. Exactly. So a lot of developers now, rather than have people, particularly when it comes to affordable housing, if a property is priced at 7.5 million naira, that's cost of land plus structure. Honestly, what are you expecting? Like I have said, when it is affordable housing, prepare your mind that you cannot have your cake and eat it. You have a roof. Your landlord's dog is no longer your landlord because you own the property. So you can improve on the property at your pace.
Let's veer a little bit, and I need to share a bit of your experience here. Now, there's a flurry of commercials, videos, whatever, going around about companies building houses. There's a large activity going on there. Are most of them credible? Nigerians are a bit skeptical. From the experience that you've had dealing with these companies, would you say most of them are credible? Every time you want to do something in this country now, you have to think twice, check properly, and so on and so forth. But do you think most of them are credible? Some of them they're offering things that are marvelous.
If it is too good, if it sounds too good to be true, then it may not be true. It will be unfair for me to pass judgment broadly when I have not encountered them. One thing I think Nigerians should get used to, there are lots of people that call in, they send messages, but they want our services for free. It will do good, and you will agree with me that I don't want to mention their names, but these very successful entrepreneurs in the IA class that have made Forbes list in Nigeria, they pay professionals.
Yes.
So you get a good report. Definitely, I've been long in the industry. My name is the only thing I have. I don't have money. So I will not.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name. Okay. You see, but so integrity for me is key. So I take risk. Do you know that we have people who live in Lagos and they send money into my account for me to help them buy properties?
Well, I know that.
That is such a huge challenge. You know why? Because I have to make sure that everything, so the kind of checks they won't think of doing is not a responsibility, because I can't tell you.
Can we just say in general terms that always get a professional to handle these things, and don't try to handle them yourself.
Don't try to, because you don't know the good questions and why successful entrepreneurs use professionals. They are not the professionals. There's no emotion. So you can't, because I'm representing your Uncle Jimmy. Nobody can play on my emotions. I know I have to deliver. So I think it is important to seek professional advice.
Okay, let's take one or two phone calls.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity this morning.
Yes.
Hey, Mr. Peter, I'm calling from Ikeja.
Yes.
I'm a civil servant and I have 14 years to leave service. And it's like this program is basically for me this morning. Wow. So I want your guest to explain to me whether I can still fall into the housing. I've been contributing for over 20-something years now.
Wow.
Yes. So
how old are you, sir?
I'm 46.
46.
So he has 14 years to go.
Yes. I have 14 years to go leave the service. Can I be able to access the scheme now? And the second question is, she's mentioning about the quality of the properties, like the toilet, the inner. Why is it not possible that the developer will make a good housing, both the inner and the structure will be good? Not that when you come in, you have to change other things.
Okay, sir.
That's my question. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, definitely it is still possible for him to access the mortgage. Affordable mortgage is very possible. It still has good time. Depends on his affordability. Again,
so he still has 14 years to go.
To pay, to go as a tenor, which is a good one. But the volume or the value of the mortgage is what his affordability test will show. Now, let me quickly correct this. We were not saying that developers build substandard houses.
No.
What we said is that people claim that why they want to build by themselves is that they will be able to put quality things. And I want to tell you, Uncle, I have self-built. I know that it's even far more expensive. Even if you sit down with those artisans, you don't have control over the cost.
No, I think that the days when you buy land buy land and then get somebody to start doing foundation and decking and all these things, I think those days are gone.
Correct.
I don't. To be honest with you, I don't think people even have the temperament to do. I try to just change my toilets in my house, and I almost ran crazy. Dealing with that artisans in Nigeria of today is a Herculean task.
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
and then, when he's saying,
excuse me,
bless you, when he's saying that developers, one is they are in it for business, but they are also guarded. Truth of the matter is that when you look at their delivery, the margins for them are very, very narrow. And so affordable home is affordable home. People have lived in council flats before, and you will know that the council flats are different from what you now acquire your own big property. So
okay. That then brings me to the issue. It's a bit outside mortgage.
Okay.
But everybody seems to believe that government should be building low-cost housing. Do you belong to that school?
My honest opinion is I am not sure it's possible to separate government from politics. So, in the quest to that government will build houses, there will be a lot of compromises.
Yeah.
So I honestly, what do I think? I think all the state governments should reduce the bottlenecks on securing title to land.
Okay.
I think, again, because the Land Use Act is embedded in the Constitution. Anytime you talk about constitutional review, people think of several other things other than this. This battle has been going on. I think what would that do? It enables, one, developers to have access to delivering houses that come with the legal title. Without a C of O, you cannot book a mortgage because we're talking about long tenure. I also think rather than government being in the business of building houses, definitely if government is building houses, the politicians will be the one that will collect the contract.
Yeah.
It's going to end up being beyond the affordability of the class for which the houses have been delivered. So what should government focus upon? Government should issue C of O title documents. The cost should be reduced. If Lagos State has how many people? Bring down the price so everybody can have access to that. Reduce the cost of perfection. Currently, the cost of perfection, you buy a property, you want to perfect your title, it costs you 10% of the cost of that property. So what government should do is provide the enabling environment that would enable the stakeholders deliver houses at affordable prices.
Okay, let me pick that call. Hello, morning. Morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Morning, how are you? Who's speaking, please?
Yeah, my name is Adebayo. I'm calling from Ikuru.
Morning, Mr. Adebayo. How are you doing?
I'm fine, sir. Please,
Yes.
I want to ask that I inspired something and I've contributed to where I work for more than 25 years.
Okay, let me get you right. You're 47 and you've worked where you work for 25 years.
Yes, I retired 2011.
And he's 45.
He retired.
He retired
Yes,
when?
Yes.
The line is not clear. Can you call us from another line, please?
No.
Please call us from another line. I can't hear him well. Hello, morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir. Who's calling?
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy. My name is Charles.
Yes,
calling
morning.
from Aja.
Morning, sir. Please go on.
Yes. I want to thank you for this opportunity.
Yes.
I believe there's a lot of sugar coating, around the National Housing Fund scheme. Now, I have worked for 20 years.
Yes.
All right. And I'm also in my late 40s. I resigned recently, and looking at the conditions around assessing refund, all right, you would see that the expectation is that you would have attained 60 years of age, or you have worked for 35 years in service, or you are incapacitated, or you are dead before you get the refund. All right. Now, some of these haven't worked for 20 years. I've contributed for 20 years. All right. And and maybe in the course of work, I also try to make do with my earnings. So I try to develop my own house, right? So now I own my own house, and I have contributed to these funds for 20 years, and I would like to get some refund. And the conditions are that I must have attained 60 years, or I'm dead, or incapacitated, or I have worked in the service for 35 years. I don't think these are fair conditions. I want your host to please speak to this.
Okay.
Well,
that was a long one.
Yes, I'm not representing Federal Mortgage Bank.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking on behalf of Federal Mortgage
Bank. We won't
Bank.
talk about them, yes.
Yes. But my opinion is products and services are built on principles and processes. So the best thing for anybody to do is to work within the definition. Prior to registering, prior to being a contributor, it had been stated these are the conditions and the terms under which otherwise it's not going to make sense. It's not a savings deposit that you want to fuel your car, you can walk there and go and access it. The institution deals with bulk, primary, secondary mortgage structure. So unfortunately, anybody may not like the fact that you have to be 60 years old, but that is it. You have to be 60 years old. Or you must have worked for 35 years, and then you collect your remittances with the interest.
So you can't crash it and collect money if you run into a problem?
No. It's not. That's not the structure. It's a framework. Even if you see how much is being deducted, it's something so minute. You understand that? So, but again, it is the policy that to be able to access the mortgage product, you have to be a contributor. So I can't defend it. I can't promulgate that they change it. That is the definition.
You don't work for them.
I don't work for them.
Okay, let me have another caller there. Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning, who's calling?
Adegoke from Lekki. Morning to your guest.
Morning, Mr. Adegoke.
Yeah, I think these are the kind of programs you should be coming with from next year. Like you said, you backed by a bit from politics.
Yes, I don't tire.
Make hypertension, the whole person. I beg. Enough of this stressing one's mind and know about this politics things. These are beneficiary thing, and I applaud you for this opportunity you've given to people to benefit from. I'm into real estate too, and actually people are still buying land enough, but this mortgaging is, I think, is also preferable, like your guests have expatiated. It should be encouraged by the government, not the government building low-cost houses that are not low and then giving it to politicians to benefit from rather than the masses. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice opinion there. I think it was the line that
yes, it does.
Well, so we're generally agreed, and correct me if I'm wrong, that maybe you should erase buying land and wanting to build a house as much as possible, unless you have the resources. You want to build a mansion and all these things, then of course, yes, you might want to.
That's just the best advice. And why will I say that? In the book, on paper, the National Housing Fund can be used to build. So you can have land that has a C of O, you can access it. But let me say this. A low-income earner cannot afford, because it's going to be supervised. So because you want to access 5 million naira, you want it to be disbursed in 3 batches. Each level, they will send consultants to come and evaluate the work you've done.
And you pay for that
consultant.
Can you
pay for that? It doesn't make sense. So except you're building a mansion, what you want is a roof. What you want is to move from someone who, they say, has no real estate to someone that eventually you pay back. Meanwhile, if you commit to a 30-year mortgage, if your repayment today on a monthly basis is 20,000 naira, till year 30 is 20,000 naira you'll be repaying.
It's not inflation adjusted.
No.
That's quite important, because what it means, for example, what Madam is saying is, if 20 years ago you took a mortgage to buy a house, and imagine what 10 million was like many
Yes.
years ago. You still be paying what will now look like a pittance. So even in business sense, even looking at it from maybe you want to resell or whatever, you're going to be getting added value.
Oh, definitely. Take, for instance, that once people, even just within 3 years, there are affordable homes. The properties are somewhere in Mowe delivered by a developer that the 3-bedroom was selling for 9.5 million naira. Now, there were people who we had profiled and they can afford it, but they kept saying they don't want to go to Mowe. Just last week, they came back that they are ready to take the property. It's now 13 million naira.
Yeah, properties keep going on.
It's 13 million. So the Mowe that we were begging you, that's where you can afford. Collect the keys. The properties are standing. You move from being a tenant, now it's 13 million.
But I also think I need to remind our people that whilst they're dealing with these companies, it's very important that you have a professional, most likely a lawyer. Let him handle these things. I discovered that, unfortunately, madam, we have this habit of not wanting to pay professionals for, so we then have, do you know anybody who can help me? No, there's no help anywhere. You have to pay for it. And I think the common sense thing to do, if you're investing that kind of money for a lifetime, whatever, the least you can do is get the services of a professional to see you through. I think we can take one or two more questions before we go. Hello, morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, please, I want to ask, is there any special program for people that are over 60 that is to self-employment and they are still and they are interested in this mortgage?
Okay, thank you. That applies to people in my category.
Well, unfortunately, the retirement age, aside from people who are in the academic, that theirs is about 65, is 60. So the thought is that by age 60, you are retired and you're no longer in active service. But here is what happens. People who are age 60 and above probably have children that are within working and they have a ready source of income. Now, how the parent comes to help is towards bearing the cost. Is that between them? Definitely is the child that is taking the mortgage, the equity contribution. So it just becomes their own personal.
Can you take two mortgages? Because why that occurred to me is, okay, between the parent and the child, maybe you can get the child to take it on your behalf. But can the child, you take two mortgages at the same time?
No, I think the question you're asking is, can there be joint mortgages? Yes.
No. He was saying that he's over 60. Do you have anything for people over 60?
So when you say two mortgages, what do you
what
mean?
I meant, when you said that maybe the child, because that's if I heard you right,
Yes.
maybe the child can do so
Yes.
on behalf of this particular
Yes.
person. Supposing the child wants to buy a house of his.
Oh, okay.
So can you take two mortgages
No,
at
you
a time?
can't. You can't. Well, ideally, for you to be able to take two mortgages, you must really be a high income earner. That your income can carry the current mortgage and then take
The additional one.
and take the additional one. No, it can't.
Okay, very quickly, I'd like to ask, do you have mortgage, a distinction between mortgage to live in and mortgage for rent? Do you have that?
No, really, a lot of people, the basic thing is, if you're talking about mortgages for maybe shops and everything, those are a different product. But once you procure a mortgage, except that the property is in an estate that does not allow for commercial utilization, you secure a mortgage, you actually can have a tenant in there. So there's no restriction. It is still for residential purposes.
No, what I meant is if you can, I think in the UK you have a distinction between mortgage that you live in and then mortgage for rent, whereby you plan to pay back the mortgage based on the rent that you receive.
No,
we don't have that distinction yet.
No, there's no distinction.
Okay. All right, so this is where we'll end it for now. Thank you very much, Mrs. Fashano.
Yes.
You'll be back again pretty soon because one of the things I want to focus on in the new year is more of development than politics.
Okay.
And yes, and I think that people need to, in between, the politicians at some point will sort themselves out, but our lives have to go on.
You know why I agree with that?
Yes.
Number one is nobody can make any success during war, battle. So it takes a lot of energy to even focus on opportunities that exist. Mm-hmm. So people need information to help them navigate.
Yes.
As turbulent, as unstructured as we may think the whole environment is, within the nonsense, there's still a lot of sense.
I hope so.
So wise people are focusing on how can you navigate.
I hope so.
Real quick, Uncle Jimmy, people are asking for a contact. How they?
I can't give them their contact. Google. We must learn to use Google. I said her name is Mrs. Jumoke.
My name is Olajumoke Fashion.
Fashion. All you need to do is to Google. You want Mrs. Chidi to slice my head. This is where we're going to end it. This is where we're going to end it for now. Just Google. We must learn to do these things. Google the name and everything you need will come up. This is where we're going to end it. Thank you very much, Madam, for coming. Tomorrow we are going to focus on etiquette. How we relate to people, especially those of us who are Christians. We are praying for this man. We are praying for fruit of the womb. We are doing all these things. Sometimes these things that you call prayers can put pressure, can actually put pressure. So these are the things. Or somebody dies, you go pay a condolence visit, then you start asking questions. How did it happen? How did it this? How did it that? When somebody dies, you go there, you keep quiet, he knows why you are there, if the person now feels disposed to telling you. So these are the kind of issues that we are going to be looking at tomorrow. And on Saturday, 8 o'clock, the discourse with Jimi Disu to round off the year, we are going to speak with the common people. I've already gotten a young chap, 32, who came from Kaduna to Lagos to try and see how he could earn a living. I'm going to get one more person to sit down and talk to them, and so that we can have an idea of how the people that you walk past or drive past, what exactly is going on in their mind. That's what we will be doing on Saturday. Thank you very much, Mrs. Fashion, for coming.
Thank you.
And Zainab, God bless you. Thank you very much. Philip, thank you very much. We'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.